What the fuck? Oh, it done it again.
Oh, did it fucking seriously?
Yeah.
Okay, so we know that doesn't work.
Yeah. Game goes,
Sorry,
here you
man.
go, here's your Germans. Yeah, for those of you, this is going to be a clip at the beginning of a video at some point. For those of you who are watching this, the game likes to swap you to another nation if the nations don't match. Just so you know. It's fucking bollocks.
Other tiers it matches, which is complete bollocks as well.
Indeed. Hello everybody and welcome back to another War Thunder vehicle review video. I promised I was going to be doing the T29 for a very long time, and I've finally gotten around to doing it during the process of researching my M48A1 pattern. Excuse the dog. Right, moving on. Yes, you. Right, okay, so moving on. Let's have a look at the stat card first, shall we? This is a heavy tank, as you may or may not already know, rank of 4 with a battle rating of 6.7, a 105 TS E2 cannon with 63 rounds of ammunition, and 3 50 caliber machine guns with 3,400 rounds of ammunition. Turret rotation speed is fairly decent for a heavy tank at 13.1 degrees per second, excellent gun depression, minus 10 degrees, gun elevation is a little bit lackluster with 15 degrees and a reload rate of 14.7 seconds. This is quite a long reload rate for this battle rating. Hull armour, well, the armour we'll go through in a minute. Mass of 64.2 tons, 770 horsepower at 2800 RPM, and a max speed of 35 kilometers an hour. This tank will do 35 kilometers an hour on any terrain regardless. Of course, unless you're going uphill. If you're going downhill, you'll go slightly faster. Max repair cost of 3,070 lions, with a RP reward of 380%, and a Silver Lions reward of 280%. So let's have a quick look at the modifications. Everything you get as standard because it's a premium. Shells, you have the T32, 248mm of penetration at 100 meters, at a flat angle going out to 155 at 2000, and at a 30 degree angle, 102mm of pen at 100, going out to 64 at 2000. Then we have the T13 shell. This is armor piercing cap ballistic cap round, 217mm of penetration at 100 meters, 171 at 2000, and at a 30 degree angle, 97mm of penetration at 100, going out to 76 at 2000. Then we have our APCR shell, 310mm of pen at a 90 degree angle at 100 meters, 196mm of pen at 2000 meters, and then at a 30 degree angle, 32mm of pen at 100 and 45 at 2000. And our standard HE, which is near enough useless for anything other than taking out artillery trucks. So, let's look at the armour. This is where it gets good. So, before we begin, I've been told that the gun mantlet on this tank, I've heard this for a while, is not modelled entirely correctly. I can't say how true or how wrong this is without actually looking it up, but I don't really have time to do that now, so if you want to let me know in the comments, then feel free to do so. Our lower plate is 70.25mm thick with an effective thickness of 173 at this angle. This is roughly how you would be looking at the tank, so bear that in mind. Upper plate is 102 with the machine gun in the bow being 88mm. This is one of the weak spots, although it is very hard to hit at long range. 127 on the commander's hatch, and an effective thickness of 163 at the top. Gun mantlet is 203mm thick, 305mm thick on the outsides, but the gun sight is only 38.1mm thick. I have actually had a Kugelblitz kill me by firing rounds through that, and only one of them went through and it killed the entire crew. So angle turret away a little bit when you're not shooting at the target. Same thing with the mouse and the Tigers. So let's look at the side armour. 158mm on the turret, 76.2 on the front of the hull, 51 on the rear of the hull, Tracks obviously act as spaced armour, 30mm. 50mm on the rear of the gun mantlet there, on the sides anyway, and 157mm there. So the gun mantlet is made up of layers of armour, although if you can penetrate the front of it, there is an armour hole that goes straight through into the turret, so bear that in mind. Rear of the tank, rear of the turret is very flat and 102mm of armour, everything can penetrate this at this tier. Same story with the rear of the hull, except the rear of the hull is only 51mm thick, and 19 at the bottom. Ouch. So, without further ado, let's look at the interior and then we'll get into the gameplay. So, you have bow machine gunner, driver, ammunition is all stored low in the tank, so cover up the lower plate if you're facing something head on. As well as in the sides of the turret, cannon breech is very large for that 105T SE2 gun. Commander sits at the rear, gunner, loader sit in this middle section, and your engine and transmission is all in the rear of the tank, as well as the fuel tanks, which are more or less in the middle behind the crew compartment. So let's get into the gameplay footage, shall we? So here we go with the gameplay section of this review. This is on the folder map, and I'm of course in my T29. There we go. I will remember. I was going to call it a T26 then for some reason. And we are on the folder map. Not a map that most people would consider using this tank on, but nonetheless it seems to work out reasonably well for me. Before we begin though, I should say that there is going to be some heavy editing in this video because this mission was, or this match, was incredibly long, and I mean incredibly long. I've had games before that have lasted 20 minutes, half an hour. This one lasted almost an hour, so we're going to be jumping around quite a bit, and allowing me to talk a little bit about the tank as well as what's going on in the background. So I've gone to the outskirts of the castle and I've spotted an RU-251. I am not going to follow that guy around the corner. He fires heat, which is incredibly dangerous to me, and above all, this may be a reasonably mobile and fast heavy tank, but he's a hell of a lot more mobile and faster than me. So instead, I'm going to bide my time and wait patiently. If he wants to get me, he's going to have to either come around that gap to my 12 or around the road around the outskirts of the castle, both of which I can cover from this position. So all I have to do is set up and wait. No point in trying my luck trying to get the RU-251 when I can just wait for him to come to me. I haven't played this tank in a very long time. The only reason I decided to play it when I did is because I've been playing the M26E1 for a substantial amount of time at the same BR and in the same setup, trying to get my M48 pattern, and in the end I gave up. I was having missions where I'd get an assist and die, get one kill and die, or just leave spawn and just die. So to stop myself from getting frustrated and to do something a little different, I thought I'd take this out. Yeah, type 60. 50 cals make short work of that. Somebody else killed the RU-251s, that's no problem. We've got 2 Vickers MBTs up here with me. That's another tank I've yet to actually unlock. Part of the problem I seem to be having is that most of the vehicles that were added recently were all older vehicles, with the exception of the new tier 6 in the last patch. So I find myself having to go back and play lower tiers in order to unlock this stuff. But on the plus side, it means I'm earning XP and more money than I would normally earn. There was a Yag Tiger over in that field, but he recently got deleted, so he's no longer a threat. And there should be a Panther 2 appearing on that hill over there at some point. Thank you very much, Vickers, for getting out of my way. Come on, where are you? I think I may be mistaken. I think that was another match. Ignore me. It's fine. Red, you're crap. Yeah, I know, but hey. Life's too short to be miserable. So if I can't make an idiot of myself occasionally, then why not? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do, with the magic of video editing, we're going to skip forward to a little bit further to get to a more action-packed section. So editing red, if you could skip forward a little bit now please, I'd very much appreciate it. Thank you very much. Right, so we are now heading for the B capture point in the middle of the map. I have seen during the kill feed that there are RU-251s over in this general direction, but I don't exactly know where they are. Take a moment to take a pot shot at the Walker Bulldog there, but no dice, but he's busy dealing with one of our teammates anyway, so carry on moving. We need to get this cap, or we are definitely going to lose this match. So this section of the game is pretty much where all the excitement happens. The first part was nothing more than a warm-up. There's the first RU-251. Now, I'm assuming, this is of course an assumption because I can't say for certain, that these two RU-251 drivers were platooned. They were squadded up. Either that, or this is another rare and elusive case of random teamwork within War Thunder. Something that I advise all of you have a go at occasionally, because it really will make someone else's day. I say this because their coordination later on is quite honestly, it's astounding. But no spoilers, we will carry on with the gameplay as it unfolds. So drive through the B cap, do not sit in the cap. I want to finish off the RU-251 before he has a chance to repair himself and come after me. There's the other RU-251. That was one hell of a lucky shot, if I'm perfectly honest, but it took out his cannon breech as well as one of his crew members as well. That was an awful sentence, I apologise. So we now have two wounded but not dead RU-251s near the cap. I want to get as much separation from them as possible, and I want to put as many pieces of cover, whether it be soft like trees and bushes and hard cover like the buildings, between me and them. If I just sit in the cap circle, they're going to know exactly where I am, and I do not want to make myself a prime target for them. And I'm sure they're going to want some revenge after being punished like that. I keep looking around. I'm being very, very observant here, as best I can. Swing the hull around and make our way back towards the B point. So I've still got to keep my eyes peeled for those RU-251s. They're out here somewhere. It's just a matter of time. Hopefully it's quite apparent how manoeuvrable this tank actually is for a heavy. I'm asking for cover. I want my team to know that I am going to be in the shit here. If they both decide to turn up at the same time, I am going to be in trouble. There's no doubt about that. Swinging my hull around. And now to get the hell out of Dodge and get the hell out of this cap zone, because if they know that they already know I'm sat in this cap circle right now. I almost have like a sixth sense. Shit, RU-251 behind me. He puts a shot into me but doesn't knock out my turret ring, thankfully. Rotate the hull and the turret at the same time. Pull the trigger and take out his ammo rack. That was unbelievably lucky. But wait! There's most certainly more. When there is one RU-251, there are two RU-251s. And as I said, the other one, if he had timed it, if he had arrived 10 seconds earlier, and they had both come from different sides of me at the same time, I would have been screwed. And to be honest, I was pretty certain I was screwed here too. Foreshadowing. This guy is just waiting to put shots into my tank, but he keeps putting shots in the same side of my turret. And as that side of my crew is already dead, all that's happening is the spalling from his heat round is getting absorbed by my cannon breech and my turret ring. The two crew members that sit on the left hand side of the turret are already dead, so he's really just throwing shells away at this point. Turret ring is back up, just waiting for my engine. I've got 15 seconds of repair left. Something spooks the RU-251 and he gets the hell out of Dodge. I'm swinging my turret around, reloading my gun, getting ready to fire back at him. He sets me on fire and then runs away again. I'm being strafed from the air, I'm being shot at by an RU, but then DSX Crusader AA Mark 1 arrives. and saves my bacon. So I thank him in chat. That, ladies and gentlemen, is team play. So, if you happen to be watching this video, Mr. Crusader, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it. If only more people in this game played like you do. Of course, everybody's different, but okay, so let's skip a little further forward to the next battle scene. As I said, this was a very long replay. Editing Red, if you could do that for me. Excellent, so the point we're now at, there is a enemy tank over there asking for cover. He is being shot at, although I don't know what by yet. American AA, not really an issue for my gun, so I'll lay some rounds into him. Yeah, it's kind of like kicking puppies really, isn't it? So that was another target to shoot at, that's great, but that wasn't the tank that was shooting at our friend over there. So the question is, where is he? He's having artillery put on him, which leads me to believe that it is most definitely either a light tank, a medium tank, or an SPAA vehicle, because those are the only classes of vehicle in the game that can carry artillery. Heavy tanks can't. So I start heading forwards, looking out for this vehicle. So we've got to keep our eyes on the swivel. This guy's going to be around here somewhere, it's just a question of finding him. Okay, so keep looking, keep looking. Ah! Bingo! An Ostwind. One shot straight through the side of his hull. Makes absolutely mincemeat of his turret crew. And we get a kill assist. But I'm happy with that. That guy managed to save himself with the help of us, so that's our job done as far as that's concerned. There is another Ostwind there. I assume it was alive just because the actual condition of the tank looked, you know, semi-reasonable, so I assumed it was still alive, but no, its crew had already been knocked out, it was dead. This pretty much brings us to the end for this video, really. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, I hope you found it informative. And, as I said, I've said this before, whenever I do a review of a premium vehicle, I always say, it's not my place to tell you where to spend your money, and this remains true. I can't tell you where to spend your money, I can only advise you and point you in the right direction. It's completely up to you whether you want to open your wallet or not. The T29 is a fantastic tank. This is something I need to mention though, due to the recent uncompression of Top Tier Matchmaker, where 7.7 no longer gets up tiered, as much as it used to at least, most of the time 7.7s end up either getting down tiered to 6.7 or getting their own tier at 7.7. This is something you need to bear in mind. The gun on this thing is more than capable of dealing with most of the tanks at 7.7, maybe the Leopards for example, should you end up fighting those. But it doesn't get heat, so don't be expecting to be blowing up T54s in one shot in this thing. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, share and subscribe if you'd like to see more, because it really does help out the channel, and we're only several subscribers away from 100, so every little bit counts. My name has been Red, and I will see you guys in the next Warhammer video. Cheers!